Hello and welcome back to the talkSPORT MMA YouTube channel. My name is Quaker Afari, and before we get started, make sure you're liking, commenting, and most importantly, subscribing to the channel. Delighted to be joined by one of the rising stars in the Bellator lightweight division. It's big news. It's Paul Hughes. How you doing, mate?
Doing good, bro. Doing good.
Big news. Big news for big news. You're now calling the shots. Can you announce who you are fighting?
Yes, sir. Ireland versus Dagestan, #2, fighting Usman Nurmagomedov for the Bellator lightweight title. Coca-Cola Arena. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. When we talked out in Saudi Arabia after that fight with AJ, you said that's the fight you wanted next. Wasn't too sure if you were going to get it. What happened to make this happen in terms of you fighting against Usman?
Look, I mean, they had this Dubai show planned, the road to Dubai, as we've seen in a lot of the promo material before the Battle of the Giants. Look, you've got to have a big fight in there. You know, you need something with a bit of storyline. You need the two best guys going at it. And I think this fight is exactly what that is. It's got storyline where I've been calling this guy out. You know, it's a fight that I've wanted. He certainly knows that I've been looking for this fight. So here we are. It's time.
It's the fight that you wanted. Do you think it's the fight that he wanted?
I think he's got no choice in the matter. To be honest, I think Bellator tell you who you're fighting, and that's it.
And in terms of Usman, we know how dominant he is. We know how dominant AJ McKee was as well. But you go into these fights full of confidence. What gives you the confidence to think that you can inflict a defeat on Usman?
Look, I mean, the same confidence that I had against going against AJ. I mean, people counted me out entirely. They said it was too much too soon. I was a huge underdog going in there, and I said, everyone, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to beat this guy. And it's that confidence. It's the same confidence that I will bring with me here towards Usman. I believe in my fighting instincts. I believe in my killer instincts, my fight IQ. I believe that I am the best guy on the planet.
And that fight's in Dubai. Your last fight was in the Middle East as well, Saudi Arabia. Do you think fighting in that climate, in the desert, a month ago, will help you in your fight in January?
It definitely the travel, getting the reps in of the travel and the weight cut and everything definitely helps. You know, coming out to the Middle East here, I've got that rep in now, so it's certainly not gonna it's gonna be familiar territory whenever I come back.
And in terms of the fight in Saudi Arabia against AJ McKee, you called that you're going to knock him out early doors. If that first round goes on for a little bit longer, I think you do get that job done and knock him out. You were a little bit disappointed after the fight, and I was shocked by it. What did you make of that fight against AJ?
Um, I mean, look, I was millimeters away from knocking him out with another knee. In fact, multiple, but there was one of them that just skimmed past the side of his head that would have put him out cold badly. And that was the shot that I called. So I was vying for that knee to land. I had predicted it. I had a whole YouTube video all set around me knocking him out with a right knee. So I thought that was going to be the shot. So I was disappointed just in the sense that I didn't get to kind of do that whole, that I guess that Mystic Mac kind of thing. I'll have to find my own abbreviation for that, I guess. But no, I mean, of course I'm happy after beating AJ McKee. I mean, this guy's 22-1, barely been touched his whole career. Massive underdog going in there. He was the one supposed to fight Usman for the belt. That was the fight that everybody had been talking about. And then here comes me and just steals all the thunder.
You said Mystic Mac. One of the most unexpected rivalries in MMA is Dagestan versus Ireland. You're obviously one of the biggest stars in Irish MMA. Right now, you take on a Dagestani star in Usman. What do you make of that rivalry, and do you feel like it's your chance to level up the score?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to make it 1-1 for the boys, definitely. And maybe in the future make it 2-1. I'll find out where Islam's at and maybe do that in the future. But I'll not get ahead of myself now. It's Usman's an incredibly, incredibly dangerous fighter that I have to be on my game to beat.
And the fight against Usman comes in the first quarter of 2025. If you get the job done in Dubai, what does the rest of the year look like for Paul Hughes?
Hopefully do two defenses. So 3 fights next year, 2 defenses would be nice, and one of them would have to be in Belfast.
And what would it mean to bring bring fighting back to Ireland? Because there's been so much talk about it. We've heard people tout the idea, but it seems like when you call for things to happen, they happen. So that fight in Belfast, how big would that be for Irish MMA?
I mean, it would be massive. It would be massive for Belfast MMA too. You know, 'cause obviously Dublin's had its thing with McGregor, with the Three Arena. We haven't had that in Belfast. So I mean, if I was able to do that there, that would be truly, truly dreams coming true, true type stuff. So that's what I foresee. That's what I'm trying to bring into reality here. Just like these other fights that I brought into reality, the pay-per-views against AJ McKee, now the Usman fight in Dubai. I mean, hopefully Belfast is next after that.
Your career's been about proving people are wrong and overcoming obstacles. Um, After the fight in Saudi, you talked about how training camp wasn't ideal. You don't want to divulge the information there, but can you explain to me what did go on in training camp and why wasn't the ideal preparation for the fight against AJ?
Um, Look, I mean, I'll not go into any specifics. It just wasn't the best camp, and sometimes that's normal for MMA. I mean, a lot of guys do that and they don't have the best camps, but they just don't say anything. I mean, if I was a little bit more, maybe a less adrenaline running through my body after the AJ fight, I maybe wouldn't have just kept that to myself. But I said it in the post interview, so it was out there. But it is what it is. But if anything, it gives me more confidence going into Usman, just making sure I'm going in there at 100% so I can perform even better.
And you've laid out the game plan for 2025. Obviously, fight against Usman. Hopefully, from your point of view, you win that fight, taking MMA to Belfast. In terms of where you see yourself by the end of next year, do you think that you have the potential to be one of the biggest stars in the sport?
Yeah, I really don't see why not. Obviously, look, the UFC product and their reach is unmatched in terms of what they can do for people's worldwide popularity overnight. But I think that this fight, especially, like for MMA fans like me versus AJ, was a big fight. It was a very exciting fight, and people loved that one. But this one against Usman gives me the opportunity to go beyond that, to go beyond just the MMA fans, to go on to the more casual fans, to this just the general public, because this Ireland versus Dagestan number 2 thing, that's big. You know, I mean, everybody around the world from every corner of the globe knows about Ireland versus Dagestan one. You know, so if we can get that magnitude up there, which I don't see why we possibly couldn't. Maybe less steel dollies thrown this time. Maybe that's what we'll have to do to get it up there. But I think I'll maybe not do that in Dubai anyway.
Yeah, yeah, you don't know how in Dubai. It's been 4 weeks since that fight against AJ McKee. Was one of the most anticipated fights on that card. You came out to Nipsey Hussle, and you were singing it as you're walking down to the cage. His album's called Victory Lap. What did the Victory Lap look like for Paul Hughes after that win against AJ McKee?
To be honest, I didn't have much of a victory lap after that on purpose. Now I had my time. I came to Dubai after and I chilled out for a week and hung out with my friends, and there wasn't anything crazy. I think my true victory lap comes whenever I beat Usman, because I had that chill time where it hadn't really sunk in. I went back to Belfast and I got straight back into training camp mode, and it's just been that disciplined lifestyle again right away, and that's where I want to be. I've genuinely never felt this deep of motivation before and drive. So I think my true victory lap comes whenever I beat Usman.
And finally, you've mentioned Usman there. What's the path to victory and how do you get the job done against him?
Path to victory, knockout. Now I absolutely can beat him over 5. No, like I'm very very confident that I can beat him over 5, and I'll be ready for 5. But I foresee a knockout. I really really do. I called the knockout against AJ. I got millimeters away. I called the exact shot. With Usman, it's still early days in camp. I've studied him a bit, but I will study more, and of course I will implement my routine and my game plan and my sparring around that, and then I'll see the shots. But I really do think that I can knock him out.